In the late Cretaceous period, around 90 million years ago, a colossal dinosaur ruled the plains of what is now South America. This was Argentinosaurus, one of the largest dinosaurs to ever walk the Earth. The presence of Argentinosaurus in the history of our planet pushed the limits of size and strength, challenging everything we once thought was possible in the natural world. Argentinosaurus was a member of the Sauropoda group, a group of herbivorous dinosaurs known for their long necks and massive bodies. It lived during the late Cretaceous, a time when the dinosaurs were thriving. However, unlike many other species of its time, Argentinosaurus stood out for its sheer size and strength, making it a true giant among giants. This behemoth measured over 100 feet in length, with an estimated weight of up to 100 tons. To put that into perspective, Argentinosaurus was as long as a football field, and its weight was roughly equivalent to that of 20 African elephants combined. Its neck alone could reach over 40 feet, and its tail was equally enormous. These immense proportions were not merely for show. They allowed Argentinosaurus to reach and consume vegetation high up in the trees, far beyond the reach of most herbivores of the time. Despite its massive size, Argentinosaurus was a herbivore, feeding primarily on plants. It is believed to have grazed on the conifers, cycads, and ferns that flourished in the Cretaceous landscapes. The giant sauropod likely used its long neck to reach high branches, while its small head in proportion to its body would have allowed it to munch on large amounts of vegetation quickly. The sheer scale of Argentinosaurus is difficult to imagine, and scientists have used various methods to estimate its size. Fossils of this giant have been discovered in what is now Argentina. Hence the name Argentinosaurus, meaning Argentine lizard. The first fossils of Argentinosaurus were found in the 1980s, and while only partial remains have been discovered, they have been enough to paint a picture of this extraordinary creature. One of the most remarkable features of Argentinosaurus was its massive size, which made it virtually untouchable by predators. Its sheer bulk and strength would have made it an incredibly difficult target for carnivorous dinosaurs of its time. In fact, the only predators capable of challenging Argentinosaurus would have been the largest theropods, such as Giganotosaurus and Mappisaurus. However, even these fearsome predators likely found it difficult to take down such a giant, as Argentinosaurus would have been able to defend itself with its powerful tail and immense size. Though its body was enormous, Argentinosaurus had relatively small teeth, which are a hallmark of many sauropods. These teeth were not designed for chewing tough vegetation, but were instead used for stripping leaves and soft plants. It is believed that the dinosaur's digestive system was specially adapted to process large quantities of vegetation with a long intestinal tract that would have allowed for the fermentation and breakdown of plant material. Argentinosaurus' massive body required a significant amount of food to sustain itself. It is estimated that it needed to consume several tons of plants every day to fuel its enormous frame. This constant need for food would have kept Argentinosaurus on the move, foraging across vast areas of land in search of new feeding grounds. The ability to move such long distances would have been essential for survival, as it allowed the dinosaur to access a variety of plant species and avoid overgrazing a single area. Thick as tree trunks, which allowed it to support its massive body. The legs of Argentinosaurus were designed for strength rather than speed, enabling it to move slowly but steadily across the vast Cretaceous landscapes. Its enormous neck, which could extend over 40 feet, was an essential tool in its quest for food, allowing the dinosaur to reach the tall trees that other herbivores couldn't access. With its relatively small head in proportion to its body, Argentinosaurus could graze on vast amounts of vegetation at once, stripping leaves from the tops of trees and consuming soft ferns, cycads, and conifers. Despite its massive size, Argentinosaurus was a herbivore, feeding primarily on plant material. It is believed to have had a diet rich in conifers, ferns, and cycads, which were abundant during the Cretaceous period. Unlike some herbivores that had to chew their food thoroughly, Argentinosaurus used its long neck and small teeth to quickly grab and consume large amounts of vegetation. Its teeth were not designed for grinding. Instead, they were used to strip leaves and other soft plant material. The digestive system of Argentinosaurus would have been highly specialized to handle such a large volume of food. Like other sauropods, it likely had a long, slow-moving digestive tract that helped break down plant matter through fermentation. The process allowed Argentinosaurus to extract as many nutrients as possible from its diet, which was essential for sustaining its enormous body. Interestingly, while Argentinosaurus's size and feeding habits made it one of the largest creatures in its ecosystem, it still had to contend with some formidable challenges. For a creature of such magnitude, finding enough food to sustain itself was a daily task. It likely needed to consume several tons of plants per day to keep its energy levels up. This constant need for food meant that Argentinosaurus would have spent most of its time foraging and moving across vast distances in search of suitable feeding grounds. It is thought that these sauropods may have traveled in herds, moving together in search of abundant vegetation and potentially offering each other some protection from predators. One of the biggest advantages of Argentinosaurus's size was its relative safety from most predators. Its sheer bulk would have made it a difficult target for the large carnivorous dinosaurs of the time. Its only real threats would have come from the largest theropods, such as Giganotosaurus and Mappusaurus. These enormous predators were capable of taking down large prey, but even they would have faced significant challenges when confronting an Argentinosaurus. The sheer size and strength of the sauropod would have made it an intimidating adversary. In fact, it is believed that Argentinosaurus used its long tail as a weapon, potentially using it to defend itself from attackers. The tail could have been swung with great force, capable of inflicting serious damage to any predator that got too close. Although Argentinosaurus was largely impervious to the attacks of smaller predators, it was not invincible. The large theropods of the time, such as Giganotosaurus, would have been capable of hunting younger or weaker individuals. However, for the most part, Argentinosaurus would have been safe from harm due to its sheer size and defensive abilities. Scientists have been able to estimate the size and shape of Argentinosaurus based on the fossil evidence that has been uncovered in Argentina. The first fossils of Argentinosaurus were discovered in the 1980s, and since then, paleontologists have pieced together its remarkable anatomy. While only partial remains of the dinosaur have been found, enough evidence has been gathered to estimate its overall size and appearance. Fossilized vertebrae and limb bones have been used to reconstruct its body, and scientists believe that Argentinosaurus had a long, robust body, a small head in proportion to its size, and a long tail that helped balance its weight. The discovery of Argentinosaurus was a significant milestone in the study of dinosaurs, as it provided new insights into the possible size limits of land animals. Argentinosaurus was not only one of the largest known dinosaurs, but it also challenged our understanding of what was biologically possible for creatures of its size. Its existence demonstrated that evolution had the capacity to produce creatures of unimaginable scale, and that the Earth was home to a variety of life forms that we can scarcely comprehend today. While Argentinosaurus may have walked the Earth millions of years ago, its legacy continues to inspire awe and fascination. Its massive size and its place in the history of paleontology ensure that it remains one of the most iconic and awe-inspiring dinosaurs ever discovered. Despite the passage of time, the image of this giant, wandering the lush landscapes of the Cretaceous, continues to captivate our imagination, reminding us of the vast and mysterious world that once existed long before humans came to be.